Welcome to an Unclean Studios terrain finished product, nearly finished product video. Introduction is as follows. We have some templated buildings, ruined pieces, and templated buildings not so ruined pieces. We have our jungle set that we spent roughly 6 days working on, with a few minor things left to do, little small cleanups here and there, but it's good enough for a game. And a few of our stacked rock hills, and I'll show you the boulders as well, which are up here, but I'll get to those after we've done this. So without further ado, let me take you on a wild and crazy jungle adventure tour of some kind. Each piece of jungle wooded areas stands roughly anywhere from 8 to 12 inches tall, with surprisingly a lot of line of sight across the bottom in a lot of areas. So you kind of have to get down and look, but there is a great deal going on here. A lot of open shooting ways, and you go from an open avenue of fire to mostly obscured cover. Model height will be something like that, to no line of sight at all, to back to open alleyways of fire, a little 2-inch hill on this side for some concealment and cover, building for cover with windows for firing out of. This building has no roof. It's not entirely finished, but it's acceptable for today's game purposes. It just needs a little more paint, to be a little more interesting, essentially. Moving along, we have a pond, and what it's missing right now, it's been spray sealed with a Liquitex matte medium, but it needs a gloss top coat where the water's going to be. Because it's going to be flat water, I did not want to use any realistic water effects. And here we go again. You can see through these enormous windows. These windows are probably 3 or 4 inches total in height. So this board is fairly congested, but at the same time, if you get down and look, it's fairly open. It's the ruins with the big windows. Another hill. And then down the length of the board. I've noticed that these seem a little like they're curled a little bit, and I'm planning on doing MDF board bases. These tiles are made out of MDF board for the top and bottom, and that will prevent the warping, or at least mitigate the warping a little. So, not terrible, just, you know, it is what it is. And even Games Workshop in their pictures has areas where you can tell it's not a seamless piece of terrain. These bases are missing lichen and tall tufts of static grass and a little bit of flocking texture, and those will be probably put on next week or the week after, depending on when my materials arrive. I think I'm waiting on the tufts of static grass now, kind of some swampy jungle looking stuff. Once again, you can see that there's a lot of line of sight across this board, although a lot of it's congested, which means a lot of cover saves. So where applicable, as well as the difficulty in moving large formations. So small assaulting kind of armies, Tyranids, those sort of things, would have a bit of a trouble. They'd have to herd themselves. They'd love all the cover all the way up, hugging the terrain like it's their best friend, that sort of thing. But at the same time, it does create avenues to slow down large assaulting, hoarding kind of armies. So this is probably reasonable for a fairly flexible Space Marine style army. A lot of firepower, a lot of flexibility, medium-sized to small-sized numbers. But even then, even though that would most likely be ideal, I firmly think that those kind of armies could be chopped up fairly in fairly short order if they're not careful. So we're shooting a battle report today. It's going to be Space Wolves versus Necrons, and look for the Necrons on sale on. I'll make an announcement when it's actually on eBay in June. We're trying to drum up some money for the studio. More projects, more terrain, more equipment. I'm considering a professional camera now, or at least a nice upgrade for shooting video tutorials, that sort of thing. So, get down low again. And these would look probably fairly handsome on a piece of cloth as opposed to the table the way I have it. Your dark brown or dark green kind of colors to match the umber and olives I've used, and to really give it that feel. And we're gonna wrap it up now with probably just a couple of shots of the table. We don't know which mission we're playing yet, but it's an 1850 game we're going to play today, so these stills will also be probably part of the pre-game pictures. So, alright, you guys rock on, have a nice day, and leave any comments you like. Please comment if you feel inspired, or if you want to complain, whichever you like, or if you just want to say, you know, whatever you like to say. We love it, whatever it is. And please leave a like to show your support for our small and growing studio. It really does help, and it may not help today, but it will help in the long run, and that's what's important. So thanks a bunch, and you guys have a nice day.